What does it mean to write a number in expanded form? To expand something means to spread it out or to take it apart. When we write a number in expanded form, we are showing the true value of each digit. I'm sure this is something you've seen with whole numbers. We could take a number like 456 and show that the value of the 4 is 400, plus the value of the 5, which is 50, plus 6 equals our number 456 in expanded form. Today we're going to take what we already know about writing whole numbers in expanded form as we write decimal numbers in expanded form. Remember that when we write a number in expanded form, we are showing each digit at its true value. So we already showed that we can break 456 into 400 plus 50 plus 6. Now we're going to go past the decimal point and represent these parts. We have 3/10 and we have 7/100. Now, one thing I recommend is that you always include a 0 in the ones place in front of your decimal, because if you don't have that 0 there, sometimes decimal points can wander off and get lost. So that 0 and decimal point are just there to be like, hey, this isn't a regular number, it's a decimal number, and it keeps that decimal point from, disappearing, wandering away. So we have plus 3/10 plus 7/100. And we also want to make sure we have that 0 there in the tenths place to push this 7 into its correct place value, which is the hundredths place. Altogether, this brings me to 456 and 37/100. Each time we do this, we want to start by reading the number just to ground us in the place value that we're dealing with. So altogether, let's read this one. We have 3 and 68/100. 3 is just a regular number, just a 3 in the ones place. I know that 6 is in the tenths place, so I'm going to write 0 and 6/10, just to show that it's a decimal number. We don't want that decimal point to wander away, so we always want to include that 0. And the 8 is in the hundredths place. Be sure to include your 0 in the tenths place. That will push that 8 to the hundredths place. All right, I'm going to show you one more type of expanded form that can be helpful with decimals. And here you're going to see some groups of language, which means we're using base 10 form. You're going to see not just addition between the parts, but also some multiplication. As always, we want to start by reading our number. So ready, set, all together, 25 and 78/100. So starting with this 2, I'm going to use parentheses to show that this is 2 groups of, which means multiplication, 2 groups of 10 makes 20. My 5 is in the ones place, so we have 5 groups of 1. And see how I'm using those parentheses to keep everything organized. Okay, now we're going to get to our parts, and this is where things get really fun. My 7 is in the tenths place, so I'm going to say 7 groups of 1/10. Just to really show that I understand what the value is of this piece. It's not just 0.7 or 7/10, it's 7 groups of 1/10. And then for my teeny tiny smallest pieces, I have 8 groups of 1 what? What place is this 8 in? You got it, 1/100th, just like that. All right, final problem. Zeros can be tricky during expanded form. What I always say is we can skip the 0, but we can't ignore the 0 because that 0 gives us a lot of information about the value of this 9 and the value of this 3. We have 2 digits after the decimal place. We have 3 digits after the decimal place, 0, 9, and 3, which means this 3 is in the thousandths place. Let's read it together. 4 and 93 thousandths. All right, starting with my 4, which is in the ones place, I have 4 groups of 1 in the ones place. As I said, we can skip this 0. We don't have to write 0 groups of 1/10, but we can't ignore the 0 because what that 0 does is it tells me that this 9 is 9 groups of what? 1/100th. It pushes that 9 to the hundredths place and makes it even smaller. Finally, we have our last teeny tiny place, which is the 3 in the thousandths place. We write 3 groups of what fraction? 1/1000th. Nice job. Want the worksheet I'm using in this video? Click on the link below and get the full packet, including partner practice, 3 pages of independent practice, a challenge page for your early finishers, and an exit quiz. Thank you for watching and happy teaching.